Have you ever seen someone walk away from a devastating loss, a failed business, or a painful breakup, not with tears or anger, but with a quiet, unshakable peace? It's a sight to behold, isn't it? They seem to move with a different kind of gravity, as if they've tapped into some hidden source of strength. We often label them as strong, resilient, or maybe even a bit cold. But what if what we're witnessing is something much deeper? What if it's the ancient philosophy of Stoicism in action? He walked away like a Stoic. No tears, no drama, just peace. This isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending you don't care. It's about understanding what you can control and what you can't, and then finding freedom in that distinction. The Stoics, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, taught that the world will throw chaos our way. It's not a matter of if, but when. Our jobs, our relationships, our health, all of it is subject to change. The real power, they argued, lies not in trying to control the uncontrollable, but in mastering our response to it. Imagine a ship in a storm. The sailor can't control the wind or the waves. Raging at the sky won't calm the sea. What can the sailor control? Their hands on the wheel, the trim of the sails, their own focus and courage. The Stoic is that sailor. When a relationship ends, they don't focus on trying to change the other person's mind. They focus on their own healing, their own conduct, and the lessons learned. When a business fails, they don't waste energy on blame or regret. They analyze what went wrong, accept the outcome, and begin planning their next venture with the wisdom they've gained. This is the essence of walking away with peace. This peace doesn't come from a lack of feeling. Stoics feel deeply. Seneca wrote extensively about grief. Marcus Aurelius spoke of his own anxieties. The difference is they don't let these feelings become their masters. They observe them, acknowledge them, and then choose a virtuous and rational path forward. It's the difference between being in the emotional storm and being the calm observer of the storm. Think of it like this. An emotion is like a visitor knocking at your door. You don't have to let it in, redecorate your house, and kick you out of your own bed. You can simply acknowledge its presence at the door and decide not to let it take over your home. So how do we cultivate this kind of inner fortress? It starts with a simple yet profound mental shift called the dichotomy of control. Ask yourself in any situation, is this within my control or outside of my control? The actions and opinions of others. Outside your control, the past. Outside your control, the economy. Outside your control, what's in your control? Your thoughts, your judgments, your actions, and your responses right now in this very moment. By relentlessly focusing your energy on what you can control, you stop wasting it on things you can't. This is where true power and tranquility are found. Let's take a practical example. Someone cuts you off in traffic. The reactive, non-stoic response is anger, shouting, maybe even aggressive driving. You've allowed an external event, something completely outside your control, to dictate your emotional state and your actions. The Stoic response? You notice it. You might feel a flash of irritation. That's human, but then you apply the dichotomy of control. That person's driving is not in my control. My reaction is, you choose to breathe, maintain your safe speed, and maybe even wish them well, hoping they get to their destination safely. You preserve your inner peace. You've won, not against the other driver, but against your own impulsive reaction. This practice extends to the biggest challenges in life. When someone you love leaves, the pain is immense. The Stoic doesn't deny this pain, but instead of spiraling into what-ifs and if-onlys, which are attempts to control the past, they focus on what they can control now. They can choose to grieve with dignity. They can choose to lean on friends. They can choose to focus on self-care, exercise, and finding new purpose. They accept the reality of the situation, not because they like it, but because it is. Fighting reality is a battle you will always lose. Accepting it is the first step toward peace. Another key Stoic practice is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This sounds grim, but it's incredibly empowering. It involves taking time to imagine potential negative outcomes. What if I lose my job? What if this project fails? What if I get sick? By mentally visiting these scenarios beforehand, you strip them of their power to shock and destabilize you. You're not dwelling on them to create anxiety. You're rehearsing your resilience. If you've already considered how you'd handle losing your job, you've started to build a mental plan. When and if it happens, you're not starting from a place of pure panic. You're starting from a place of preparedness. This is why the Stoic can walk away in peace. They've already walked through the fire in their minds. They've already accepted that loss is a part of the human experience. They understand that their character is not defined by what happens to them, but by how they choose to respond. Their self-worth isn't tied to their job title, their bank account, or another person's approval. It's tied to their own virtue, their integrity, and their ability to act with courage and wisdom, no matter the circumstances. So, when you see that person walking away with a calm demeanor, understand that it's not an absence of pain, but a presence of practice. They have trained their mind day after day to focus on the right things. They have chosen to be the sailor, not the storm. They have built an inner citadel that cannot be breached by external events. This is a strength available to every single one of us. It doesn't require a special background or innate talent. It requires practice, intention, and the will to master oneself. The next time you face a setback, try it. Acknowledge the frustration or the sadness. Let yourself feel it, but then gently pivot your focus. Ask yourself, what part of this is in my control right now? Maybe it's just your breath. Start there. Inhale, exhale. Then ask, what is the most virtuous, the most constructive, the most rational step I can take next? It might be going for a walk, writing in a journal, or simply choosing not to send that angry text. Each time you do this, you are casting a vote for your own peace. You are laying another stone in the wall of your inner citadel. This is the journey of the modern Stoic. Not a journey to become emotionless, but to become emotionally resilient. Not to avoid life's hardships, but to face them with grace and fortitude. It's how you learn to walk away from the wreckage of a situation, not with drama or despair, but with the quiet, powerful peace of someone who knows that their true strength lies within. Thank you so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content on building a stronger, more peaceful mind. See you in the next one.